Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at something completely invisible to the average person, but honestly, it's absolutely crucial to the very food we eat every single day. We're talking about the hidden and frankly super chaotic inefficiencies of the B2B food distribution world. Okay, let's dive into this, because what we found in the research is an industry running on seriously outdated systems that are, well, finally facing a massive overdue reckoning.
So get a load of this number. $9.40. That is our cold open reality today. In the massive, sprawling food distribution industry, it costs exactly $9.40 just to process a single phone order. I mean, think about that for a second. Before a single vegetable is boxed up or a piece of fish is even loaded onto a truck, the mere act of writing down what a restaurant wants costs almost $10. And when we put that into perspective, the irony is just staggering. Taking just one phone order for $9.40 actually costs more than a fast food worker might earn in an entire hour of cooking that exact same food. It's an absurd paradox. The person manually logging the order costs the system more than the person physically creating the meal.
You might be wondering, why on earth does it cost so much? Well, it's because across the 25,000 independent distributors, the folks moving 2/3 of everything America eats, the default method of communication is utter chaos. Restaurants aren't exactly logging into sleek software. Instead, distributors are dealing with voicemails left at midnight, texts written in this cryptic shorthand that only one specific sales rep understands, aging fax machines that literally belong in a museum, and yes, even handwritten notes scribbled on napkins. It's an incredibly messy, outdated web.
Section 1, The Cost of Chaos, 3 a.m. shifts.
Let's look at a real-world example from the data to see what this looks like on the ground. There's a Boston-based seafood distributor pulling in roughly $150 million a year in revenue. You'd think they'd have a pretty sophisticated operation, right? Nope. Their sales reps were starting their shifts at 3 a.m., and they weren't starting early to sell or negotiate deals. They were starting at 3 a.m. simply to type. They were spending nearly 40% of their entire day just rekeying those messy orders we just talked about into a computer. And the crazy thing? Analysts say this isn't even an outlier. It's actually close to the industry median.
Let's break down that $9.40 cost a bit further. Data from the food distribution consultancy Fittest reveals a hidden detail most people totally miss. Of that $9.40, $7.30 goes to taking the order. But a massive chunk, $2.10, goes entirely to fixing errors afterward. We like to call this the apology call. This is the agonizing cost of the wrong items being shipped, which triggers a painful chain reaction of confirmation calls, issuing credit, scheduling redeliveries, and ultimately straining the relationship with the restaurant. And this brilliantly illustrates the real danger here. The industry's manual error rate sits around 6%. That means 6 out of every 100 orders trigger those incredibly expensive apology calls. But get this, the industry's net profit margin hovers around a razor-thin 3%. The math here is terrifying. A 6% error rate in a 3% margin business isn't just a minor operational hiccup. It is a literal life-or-death battle for these distributors.
Section 2. The AI Order Revolution. A survival necessity.
Okay, here's how the new model works, finally replacing those painful 3 a.m. typing shifts. Step 1. AI ingests orders from literally any format, whether it's a messy text or a scribbled napkin. Step 2. The system instantly normalizes the order against the distributor's catalog, acting like a translator, turning the restaurant's shorthand into the correct inventory code. Step 3. Because the typing is completely eliminated, reps can spend their time actually selling and building relationships. Startups like Anchor, who just raised $5.8 million from Andreessen Horowitz, are building their entire pitch around giving that 40% of lost time back to the distributors. They're basically eliminating the keyboard entirely. Now, what's really interesting about this is what happens when this new workflow is applied across the whole ecosystem. The sheer scale of the results is genuinely jaw-dropping. Take Choco, for example. They're attacking the error rate directly with a product called Autopilot, claiming an astonishing 99.5% accuracy pulling from emails, WhatsApps, and PDFs, and that is before a human even looks at it. You've also got Matterhall reducing the time per order by 70%. These aren't just marginal little improvements, they're total paradigm shifts.
And if you're thinking, oh, this is just for agile, young tech startups, think again. US Foods is a broadline distribution giant founded way back in 1853. Yep, a 170-year-old company is one of the biggest early winners here. They built an automated order guide using Amazon Bedrock's generative AI and recaptured over 32,000 hours of manual work from its sales force. That's roughly 16 full-time employees worth of time saved. And crucially, those freed up reps are not being laid off. They're out there selling, finding new business, which is exactly where the leverage is in a high-volume, low-margin industry.
The reach of this technology is expanding aggressively too. Take Pepper, a platform that already serves over 500 distributors, representing a massive $30 billion in gross merchandise volume. They recently acquired the Y Combinator-backed startup Alima. Their goal? Pushing AI-powered catalog management deep into Latin America. This aggressive global expansion proves this is no longer just some localized experiment, it's a massive, unstoppable operational shift. The entire industry is changing, and it's changing really fast.
Section 3. The new survival math. Adapt or die.
So the crucial point is the extreme competitive pressure that AI is injecting into local markets. The old standard was a 12-minute manual order entry. The new standard? A 2-minute AI order. Trials from a company called Recapture actually showed a 90% reduction in order processing time over 6 months. If the distributor across town can process an order in under 2 minutes with near zero errors, and you're still taking 12 minutes and getting 1 out of 17 orders wrong, well, the restaurant owner is for sure going to notice.
I really love this quote from the research, and I think it perfectly encapsulates the shift. The 12-minute order is becoming what the $12 taxi ride was before Uber. It's an incredibly powerful analogy, isn't it? The 12-minute, error-prone manual order feels completely normal, right up until the exact moment someone shows you the fast, accurate, AI-powered alternative. And once a restaurant owner experiences that new standard of perfection and speed, there's absolutely no going back to the old way.
Which leaves us with a final, pretty looming question. What happens to the mid-size operators? The smallest distributors might scrape by on hyper-local personal relationships. The giants like US Foods, as we saw, are already adapting. But the mid-size operators? The ones big enough to have hundreds of daily orders but small enough that wasting 40 hours a week typing is a massive blow to their labor costs? They're incredibly vulnerable. For them, that $9.44 phone call isn't just a line item. It's a slow leak that will drain their business dry. They simply cannot afford to ignore this. So, as this AI revolution sweeps the supply chain, will these mid-sized players plug the leak in time, or will they be left behind in the 3 a.m. typing shifts of the past? It's a fascinating space to watch, and we really hope this explainer has helped you understand exactly what's at stake.